So you're in Boston. There's the current state capitol there. This is we're in Boston at Beacon Hill. This is to commemorate the first black regiment in the Civil War, led by Robert Gould Shaw. If you ever saw the movie Glory, that's what this is about. Right in back of me, over this bus, is the gold dome of the current State House. We're going to go to the old State House. There's the fire brand of the American Revolution. The guy that orchestrated the Boston Tea Party had a lot to do with us going to war with Britain. Samuel Adams, John Adams' second cousin, who was kind of the firebrand who kind of ignited the American Revolution. He was the one that initiated the Boston. You'll see a lot more, read a lot more about it tomorrow when we go to Lexington and Concord. This is the Granary Burying Ground, one of the oldest cemeteries in Boston, where at least 3 or 4 of the most famous American patriots are buried. We already saw one, Samuel Adams. Now we're going to go look for Paul Revere.
Dei sentimenti della classe media lavorativa.
Paul Revere.
Supportò aumentò la rivoluzione. Nel 1770 creò il famoso.
Okay, and the most ostentatious grave here is John Hancock, just like his signature. Grave of John Hancock. The Old South Meeting Place. That's one of the first places we're going to stop, very historical in Boston. This is the old meeting house in Boston, and this was a favorite place of the Sons of Liberty, and possibly where at least the Boston Tea Party might have been at least discussed here, the planning of that is. And here we go. This is Michelle Long. This is her first time in Boston. So you see the pews. These are the, people would rent or buy these. Whole families would have their own pews. It's quite a pulpit there. Interesting plaque here. Here we're at the old State House in Boston.
What's up?
That's the old State House there. They're renovating it right now. This is a museum. So this is the old State House. See the government. Beginning of the Revolution. And right at this spot in front is the site of the Boston Massacre, where 5 people were killed by British troops in the year 1770. I think I'll take a picture still. It's Faneuil Hall, very important part of Boston history here. Let's go. Quincy Market, Faneuil Hall here. Okay, we're in Boston, Massachusetts, at the Oyster House, which is the oldest restaurant in the United States. And she's having fish tacos, and I'm having fish.
And no
haddock.
salsa. No salsa.
Okay, so anyway, bon appetit. You can see how old this place is. See all the old wood and things. It's founded in 1826. Back in the 1700s, this location was a dress shop. So, a lot of history here. Anyway, your mom's hungry. I'll let her eat. That's where we just had dinner, the oldest restaurant in the United States. We just had great meal in Boston. This is Paul Revere's house in old Boston. I think it was built in the 17th century. You want to go see the visitor center? Again, Paul Revere's house in Boston. This is the Paul Revere Mall, the most famous probably site in Boston, with the old North Church there.
Northwestern University, che è un'altra università famosissima.
Esatto, mancato.
No, ieri l'avevo mancata, era quella che mi ricordavo e non riuscivo a vedere. Io ne ero una.
Lord, know that I'm not good if I wait the waiting so quickly, waiting on what it's so easy to do. Imagine there's no heaven. It's as if you try.
Walking along the side of the old North Church up to the front entrance. I suppose this cost, huh?
So in 1746, the vessel carrying these angels was seized by
This is the
privateer
old
under the name of Thomas Barucci, who was also a parishioner of the church here. So he seized all the cargo on board this particular French ship, but then he came across these angels, and instead of selling them to the church, he would rather give them here as a charitable donation. So, ironically speaking, we've had bits of stolen property in this house of God since 1746. And
So evidently the Mathers are represented with this joint gravestone here, so they're probably buried all underneath this, I'm guessing, or at least around this. So the one Increase Mather was the first one. The second one was Cotton Mather, who was largely responsible for a lot of what happened, to be honest with you, at the Salem witch trials. And unfortunately, that's what he's known for. Because of that history, unlike his father, he was not allowed to, I guess, become head of Harvard University like his father was, with that bad publicity. Anyway, that is it. So another interesting old Boston graveyard, the Mathers. And there's not much to show for them. You think that someone would have taken care of it, but I guess the notoriety of being involved in the Salem witch trials probably nobody's too excited to be affiliated with it. Okay, that tower over there in above Charlestown is Bunker Hill, where the great battle of the beginning of the Revolutionary War took place. Very famous. Unfortunately, we're running out of steam and we need to get back to our car, so it's about as close as I'm going to get to Bunker Hill today. The U.S. Constitution, Old Ironsides, is somewhere over here, but I think it might be dry docked. I think they're working on it, so I don't even see it here. So, but anyway, we're still in Boston. Signing off.